What's up, y'all? Salutes. Just tapping in today on this episode, Walk With Me. We talk about this politics and how people are not recognizing that these politics are straight out of religion. How everybody's taking sides, good and evil. You know, that heaven and hell. They've been trying to make our environment hell for a long time. They don't care how they do it. We allowing this shit. This is what happening. We allowing people to do this stuff to us. If if things are expensive, it's not because of the economy. Don't let people tell you shit like that. It's because these greedy people in the economy. When you go to a gas station and you see that gas is 10 cents higher or 5 cents higher than the gas down the street, guess what's happening? That motherfucker at that gas station is raising prices artificially. Has nothing to do with no economy. Nothing to do with that. And this goes on all levels. They trying to make our environment like hell. They trying to make it so bad that we seek some type of remedy, that we seek some type of help. And they want it to come from the government. The reason why all of this inflation is happening is because of word of mouth. When they started talking about prices are gonna go up for this, prices are gonna go up for that, they were giving all of these greedy ass freaking companies the go ahead to raise prices undiscriminately so they can put pressure on the average person, trying to create a living hell for you. But look, just like all religions, you have a devil and you have a Messiah. And look, there's remedies in between both of those. You don't have to hit too far left or too far right in order to get a home run. There's remedies to get over this shit. People don't even practice these remedies. When you go to the store and shit's expensive and you've been buying the same thing for years and now the price is hiked up, don't buy the shit or don't buy so much of it that you used to. Once they see these prices start to affect the amount of products that they sell, they're going to lower the prices. It's a competitive system. We've allowed them to turn it into a monopoly. We've allowed them to freaking treat us like a bunch of babies. All we have to do is avoid the dumb shit and go towards the right shit. And this is what they're not expecting of us. In their little game that they're running in society right now, trying to turn everything into hell, they're actually giving us a way to fight against them. Don't participate. It's simple. Don't participate. If there's gas, there's multiple gas stations in your area. Shop around. Don't go to the most expensive one because you cool with the way that they freaking sell shit or you like the name or the logo. That's how they get us. Drop these cocksuckers and go to somebody that's cheaper. Eventually, the people that's losing money is going to be the ones that's raising the prices. I don't understand why people can't do this shit. Don't fill up your tank at a gas station that's charging you fucking $5 for gas. Everybody in California, y'all some suckers. Suckers. Y'all some suckers, man. Y'all allowing these people to raise y'all prices and y'all willing to pay it. Instead of filling up your tank, buy a fucking couple gallons. Don't fill the bitch up. Spend all that money on gas when you ain't going nowhere because you feel safe in having a full tank of gas. This is how idiots play the game. We can't allow them to turn us into a bunch of idiots. Same thing with food. They want us to pay high prices for food. That way they can cut the food out from up under our feet, say it's too expensive. And then on top of that, they can demonize anybody that's selling this shit. Man, they trying to lead us into a modern day religious cult. They've already got us a long time ago in this cult shit. They just trying to further the effort now. And all of these people walking around here talking about this person's gonna save that, this person's gonna change this. That shit's not gonna change. It's only gonna change if you make it change and the people around you that make it change. That's the only way it's gonna change. Other than that, bro, we just doing the same shit our grandparents and our parents did. They fell prey to this shit a long time ago too as well. We're not the only ones that went through this. They did this for our parents and our grandparents. They pushed all these frivolous ass things upon us. And then when we felt like we didn't have no choice, we fell victim to these so-called messiahs, these so-called people that were supposed to lead us somewhere. But they didn't lead us nowhere, man. They led us right back to the same shit. A horrible life and a miserable existence. And they pulled us all into it with them. See, it's not our parents' fault that they were dumb. It's just that they didn't realize, right, that they were being tricked. It's time to step back from this shit and look at who actually is causing all of this shit to happen. It's not happening federally. It's happening locally. All the shit that's happening to you right now in your environment, in your neighborhoods, in your cities, is happening because of local motherfuckers. See, I'm not the one to call out for a damn witch hunt, but at the same time, we need to recognize who is pulling the strings where I live at. These motherfuckers ain't being controlled by no one entity. They being controlled by nobody. They don't have no checks and balances at the local level. We expect the federal government to step in and check these people. That's not how it works. This shit is supposed to happen where you're at. Every state is sovereign. I know that don't mean too much to people, but you need to realize every state is its own country. Your local representatives are your presidents and your vice presidents, not the motherfuckers we see on TV, Trump and Biden. These cocksuckers don't even fucking do anything for us. Watch if something happens bad in your neighborhood, some type of natural disaster. You think Trump gonna come over there and give you a check personally? No, that shit has to go through your government officials. And then they act like they can't move their fucking feet because they ain't get approval from the federal government. Who the fuck controls your taxes? When you pay property tax, do they gotta get permission from the federal government to collect it? Fuck no. They collecting that shit willingly. So why the fuck they gotta go to the federal government to get approval to give you a check when your house blows the fuck up because some storm came through or some flood came through or some fire that they fucking caused came through? You know why? They playing you. The federal government doesn't apply to everyday citizens. None of the shit that they put out, the executive orders, decrees, policies, none of that shit really fucking affects us. That only affects people that they have a direct authority over. That's the federal government. When they were pushing this fucking shit on us a couple years ago, and Biden wanted to make a fucking public announcement, an executive order, he thought that shit was going to affect every citizen. It doesn't. It only affects people that work directly up under his authority. But you know what? Every federal in every state, lockstep, try to push that shit as if it affected us. We gotta know, man, that we have the power to change shit in our favor where we're at when we're trying to be affected. And this is the reason why shit ain't getting done. Because we got a lot of fucking followers, no individuals. If I find out somebody's trying to cheat me, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm either gonna avoid them or confront them head on. And see, it's not gonna be, well, maybe I'm making a mistake. If you already know this person is cheating you, why would you second guess yourself? Why would you treat them as if they have nothing to do with the shit? Some of y'all vote for these people locally and don't even fucking know it. And these people are criminals, masterminds, deviants. And you go willy-nilly off thinking that somebody out in Washington, D.C. that's going to make a rule that's going to change their mind. No, man. You got to get out and stop this shit yourself. You got to stop playing the game. And if you got a large following, you need to start directing these people towards the path that's going to give them solutions. not keep on directing them to the same old bullshit. Every 4 to 8 years, we get some cocksucker up there trying to tell us they're gonna change the way we live, make it better for you, use racial innuendos, and fucking try to tell you that it's the other party's fault. How the fuck is that a democracy? You know, a democracy consists of multiple channels, multiple directions that if you wanted to take one, you could. We only got two. That's Democrat and Republican. Y'all can't see how they narrow the fucking playing field and monopolize this shit. So that has nothing to do with us. The people that's in your state, those are the people that's voting for these people. They're the ones that's creating these policies of a two-tier system. What we should do is not listen to anybody else. Follow your own intuition. And that's bad because we have a lot of people that don't have intuition. We have a lot of people that can't think for themselves. Those are the people that we should be trying to manipulate because they can become weaponized against you. Avoid them people. People that willingly follow the fucking sheep off the cliff to their own demise are dangerous. They're like ticking time bombs. Anybody that come along with a shiny toy or some pretty words can attract them, pull them out of your realm, and then turn them around and use them against you. There's a lot going on that we don't recognize. And the reason why we ain't recognize it is because instead of staring, we in the military they used to say a 5 and 15. Before you get out of your vehicle, you need to check 5 feet from your exit and then 15 feet out around your entire vehicle. I know that sounds stupid, but in actuality, that's what you should be doing locally. Don't come out of your house and try to set your gaze on Washington, D.C., unless you're there in Washington, D.C. Set your gaze on your capital and then move towards that. There's a lot of people out here, man, that could do a lot of good if they just knew where they needed to go to do it. But we always have these charlatans. If you shop at a supermarket or a store and you don't think this is crazy or insane that they support a politician at these stores and these supermarkets, you better wake up because guess what? These people don't have your best interest in mind. They're trying to draw your attention away from where you're at to some far off place, which is Washington, D.C. I don't shop at stores that support politicians. If they allow these people to put all these signs and shit up in the window, that's just like these motherfuckers that did over there in Russia back in the day when they were trying to propagandize all of this bullshit that was going on over there differently over here in the United States. They can tell us whatever they want to tell us. If it's far off, if it's a land far off where we don't know, like for instance, if you live in California, Washington, D.C. is out of your fucking reach. It's out of your reach. You need to fix the shit where you at before you try to target Washington, D.C. If you can't do that, then you're fucked. Because they are allowing these crazy people. Matter of fact, they promote them and pushing them because they have the money to get into these politics. They're allowing these people to come into our cities and into our freaking societies and try and corrupt us and change us for the worse, not for the best. And they're doing it in a fashion that attracts lots of minds. And they're using a religious freaking template. People can't even see it. We got people that say they don't believe in religion, but they follow these people religiously. They give them all this power over them and authority over them. And then at the last minute, they find out they fucked. They rather just destroy everything. This is the stuff that we got to watch out for in our community. These people that are half-baked, that they can't think for themselves. Because when they think that it's going to be a fruitless fight or something that's not going to work, they're willing to just throw in the towel, end it all. And they'll take your ass with them. We got to avoid this type of thinking, man. We got to avoid these type of people that are pushing this shit. these companies that are doing this shit to us. It all goes back to making your own decisions. If you can't make your own decisions, then, and you need somebody to tell you what to do and how to do it, then you're gonna fucking suffer. Because at the end of all of this shit happening, what they can guarantee is that a lot of people are gonna suffer from what they're doing. Now everybody's looking forward to this upcoming election, right? And you would think that the people in power would start to change things at the last minute so they won't seem like total douchebags when it comes time for you to vote. And this is how I recognize that these people are all playing by the same rules. They know that shit is fucked up out here just like you know it. See, and if they're going to play the game, they need to play it in a way that people are going to let it slide by, that they're both on the same team. Now, you would think that they would try and raise prices. They can't just raise prices. They can't just lower prices because it ain't got shit to do with the Fed. This is all local. And they're going to keep on making money off your ass all the way up until the election. And then, whenever politician they get in there that they want, then they'll relax and be like, see, I told you. If you would have listened in the first place, then we wouldn't have never went through this. When it was them all along. It was them motherfuckers all along. If you need somebody to blame for what's going on right now, you better stop looking far off in the distance and start looking right around you. Because I'm telling you, these people are not hiding. They're in plain sight. They just know how to play the game. Everybody's walking around with their fucking blinders on, hoping and waiting that some politician gonna come in and change their life. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it works. Politicians only make promises that in the end they can't keep. Because they know what they think and what they do is not going to affect everybody. It's only going to affect their immediate environment. So all the shit that's going on right now has nothing to do with the federal government. It has everything to do with your local government. These people are not affected by you about what's going on because they don't have to worry about shit like that. Your local government don't worry about how much bread costs in the grocery store because they get funded by the government. They get per diem from the government, and that's local. They pay these people for food. They pay them for gas. All right, and this is all money that the state owns. This has nothing to do with the federal government. The federal government might loan them some money based off of some type of crisis, but at the end of the day, they get funded by their state. Your governors and your mayors, they make a living off of you. They don't make a living off the federal government. They don't work for the federal government. They work for their own federal organization there in that state. So when they telling you that, well, the politicians in Washington, man, they lying their ass off, man. Ain't none of that shit got anything to do with Washington. It's got everything to do with where you're at. Where I'm at right now, I see these people competing for who can make the most money. And they're not doing it as competitors. They're doing it as teammates, almost like sibling rivalries. When you got 3 or 4 gas stations competing, for your freaking money, 2 or 3 cents off from one another, you know that these people are playing a game. It ain't got shit to do with the economy. It ain't got shit to do with buying oil and none of that shit. See, what people don't realize is that the oil companies don't work for the federal government. These are private owned entities. They sell oil to whoever will buy it at whatever price they'll pay for it. Because oil doesn't come specifically in one can. They can sell these people portions of oil, portions of a barrel. The shit is so crazy that we haven't saw that they've been doing this to us. And that's why they've been getting away with it for so long. Politicians locally, they don't just freaking come into office and leave every 4 years. These cocksuckers stay there until somebody come up and opposes them. It usually takes about $25 to $50,000 in order to run for some type of office because you got to do advertising. You know, you got to get the word out to who you are, and then they want you to pay into their little club. It's all a club, Democrat and Republican. And see, the only way you can change it is stop participating in the bullshit. You can still vote. Matter of fact, I think it's good to vote. Remove some of these cocksuckers. The quicker you can get them in and out of office, the better off you'll be. Because they're the ones that's regulating your environment. And they get kickbacks from these companies. The city I live in, man, they won't even allow certain businesses to come in their city. Certain businesses can't come in their city. They have a strict rule on what they allow in and what they allow out. So you mean to tell me if they can control who comes in, who actually set up shop, right? If they can control that, don't you think they can control how much they charge for their goods or services? Fuck yeah, they do. Fuck yeah, they do. If you want prices to change at the gas pump, you don't petition Washington. You petition the Capitol. And you tell them prices are too fucking high. You need to do something about it. And guess what? They can lean on these business owners that's hiking these prices up on your ass, and they can stop them from doing what they're doing to you. It has nothing to do with the states around you. They treating us like we in a big-ass used car company. And we just the prices go up every so often. As soon as you drive the car off the lot, it drops down $1,000. Get the fuck out of here. The car drove onto the lot. Did the price go up when it drove onto the lot? No, it only goes down when your dumb ass buy the car and leave. They doing the same thing with us, with all of our commodities, our gas, our food. It's a shame, man. And there's only a few people that's trying to do this shit. Once a week, if you drive your car often, that means that you've already, especially if you go to work and home, you already know how much it's going to take, how far you can drive on that tank of gas. Why are you filling up your tank, utilizing your extra money to pay these cocksuckers to make everybody else suffer? You know why? Because you're oblivious to what's going on around you. Don't pay attention to this shit. If you drive a big ass car and you got a smaller one at home, I would think that it would be the smart thing to do, since gas prices are up, is to take that small car, that economy car, where you don't have to pay fucking $80 to fill up the tank to contribute to this bullshit. And utilize that small car, fill it up every so often, and utilize that shit. But nah, people ain't doing that. Or don't go to the store and you see fucking eggs that's $9 and you buy them. Every fucking store that was selling eggs for $8, $9 should have had them eggs on the shelf from the time they put them out there until they changed the fucking price. But no, everybody went out and bought that shit. Everybody went out and did that shit. Same thing with butter. When butter's $8 for a box, a little package of butter, $8, and people are still buying it. You want your fucking ass to be like this. You want everybody to be suffering like this. You can't sit up and say it's the government's fault. No, it's your fault. Don't buy that shit. It all has an expiration date on it. The older that shit is, they got to do one or two things to it. They either got to throw it away or lower the price. Stop letting these people in your local communities drive your economy in the wrong direction. Same thing with landlords. If you don't want these people to be charging these outrageous ass prices for apartments and shit, don't get apartments from them. Don't get apartments from them. Rent rooms from your relatives and shit until the prices go down. You know the price, they adjust the prices on apartments every quarter based on the amount of tenants they have. And if people are paying their rent. If people aren't paying their rent, then they're like, oh, then they probably can't pay it. If it's a large amount of people, they'll be like, oh, we might be charging too much. And see, this is the shit that's happening right now. We are screwing ourselves by not recognizing the play that they put on us. We're screwing ourselves. Right now, trucks are at least $10,000 to $15,000 more than they used to be. You know how that shit started? Oh, when the damn canals were clogged up. We can't get chips in now. Who the fuck made that up? You know who made it up? Some bureaucrat that want to help his buddy decrease prices on vehicles because he's gonna get a kickback. So say that there is a shortage on new vehicles. Now we can raise the price of used vehicles. And that's how they start this crap. And once that shit happened, people should have been like, oh, I see the play. I see the play. I'm not gonna buy no used vehicle. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna buy from a dealership. I'm gonna buy private owned. And that way you can negotiate. But they don't, people aren't not, man, we just allowing this shit to happen, man, and it's not even stopping. And when Trump get into office, people think that he's gonna save the world, save the planet. Man, you gonna see. He ain't got no obligations after this. His 8 years is up, or his 12 years is up, or however you want to look at it. That's when they show their ass. Black people, look what Obama did in his last tour, his last term. Showed his ass. Come on, man. We can't be this dumb all the time. We gotta recognize this stuff. And look, the best thing to do in this situation is the same thing these freaking sovereign motherfuckers trying to push on you and tell you not to participate in the laws. Don't participate in this government shit either. Don't participate in this local government shit. See? The local government shit is that we only allow these people to put certain leaders in front of us. That way they can steer the state where they want them. I guarantee San Francisco is regretting putting that lady in charge. Well, I ain't gonna even say it's a lady. Putting that damn communist in charge. Straight up turn the whole city upside down. People were leaving San Francisco so fast, it was a damn shame. You can't even park your car downtown and go in and have a breakfast or a lunch and shit without worrying about your shit being broken into and stolen, you getting carjacked. This stuff didn't happen in the federal government. That shit happened local. And they look, these crazy people are being put in positions where they can run for these offices. Because like I said, you got to pay into the club. But look, you don't have to be a politician to make change in your environment. All you have to do is be willing to sacrifice. And see, this is where the religious aspect come in, because they know that everybody has given up on religion, and anything said about sacrifice is looked at as, oh, you're just trying to push religion on me. No, motherfucker. Sacrifice is like this. If you got a vehicle that you use every day, you know your route, you know how far you be driving on one tank of gas, don't fill your shit up. Let them take a hit at the pumps. Let them take a hit at that shit. Same thing with grocery stores. Don't shop at these fucking grocery stores that's making eggs and bread, fucking $5, $6, $7, $8 for one pack. Stop buying that shit. Buy the cheapest shit you can buy. Don't buy that expensive shit. They'll see every quarter, I'm telling you, they make an evaluation. And if you know that these little gas stations and these freaking apartment complexes are doing this shit, you gotta know that these major corporations are doing the same thing. They do quarterly reviews all the time. If we hit their ass 2 or 3 quarters in 1 year, I guarantee you all this shit have changed in your local environment. But you can't just do this shit by yourself. You gotta have a bunch of thinking individuals that know how to manage what they have, that know how to freaking take charge of their goods. If you at the house and you drinking a fucking 6-pack a day, and you think that beer is gonna go down and shit, nah, you wrong, man. You better cut that shit in half. Drink 3 beers a day. That's the only way. And you can't do that shit as an individual. That has to be done widespread. But we got these people that want to splurge in the midst of a crisis. Man, we better wake up before they pull the rug from up under our ass, man. We better wake up before they just totally change Your entire world. Your entire world, bro. Just just stop looking at federal government and start looking at local. You know, refuse to pay the prices that they pay. Cut back on what you're buying from these people. Eventually, they're gonna run out of space of all the shit that they're trying to sell, and they're gonna have to lower the prices to get rid of those things that's on the shelf. And that applies to everything. How Costco can allow you to buy shit in bulk for the same price that you buying shit individually? How is that possible? How are they allowed, or how are they able to give you more shit for less, but everybody else is giving you less shit for more? What are they, special or something? No. These people are doing the same shit, but you got to be part of their club. You're going to make up for it by paying into their membership. And this is why we need to pay attention to local government, because if you ain't paid into the club, you ain't going to get them prices. Fuck the club. Fuck their prices. Cut back on what you're buying from these people at a large scale, and I guarantee you they're going to lower the prices. Ain't got shit to do with no federal government. Ain't got shit to do with Biden or Trump. Stop looking to these people for saving. Start looking at your local government and start pointing the fingers at the motherfuckers. I bet people don't even realize who their local government is. These people incognito right in front of you. People don't even realize who's running their fucking state. But you ask them about the federal government, oh, Biden, fucked up. Oh, Trump, greatest thing since sliced bread. Man, look, if you know about them, you should know everything about the people that's running your state, that's running your city, that's running your county, because they're the ones that's making the rules in your local environment. One county at a time, one city at a time, one state at a time. And we can turn this shit all around and the federal government will be obsolete. That being said, this is the last thing I'm going to say. Stop letting people influence you negatively. Salutes.